I see a
stop.
big half a screen of Brian
Hang
Resner,
on, boys.
which I'm okay
not,
with.
We're not on air right
Thank
now.
you, man.
Save your good stuff. We're not on air right now. Everyone look at things on their phone.
Okay, we're back on now, I believe.
We're back. All right.
Okay.
Oh shit!
And we're back here at the Pointless Podcast.
Sorry.
Kicking ass and cashing checks.
Checks. You getting paid for this too?
I thought I was.
What?
I got to read contracts better.
No.
Yeah, I thought I was like months and months and months ago.
We all
It's
made
in the
that
mail,
mistake.
Brian. It's in the mail.
all
The
made
check
that
is-
we'll
mistake.
figure it out
Yeah,
somewhere.
the check's been in the mail for a long time.
Two more topics before we move on to our weekly topic. We've already been here like an hour and 45 minutes or something.
We've lost all the viewers. I'm right.
Something like that. It's been a while. Perry Satter says that he's no longer homeless. He's recovering from CTE and that he is no longer on drugs. He has moved in with his wife to Minnesota. Good on you, Perry Satter, and hopefully you can keep your life together this time,
Get
buddy.
rid of that face tattoo.
Or start a tag team with Mike Tyson. One of the two.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you. Buddy.
But what I felt like was the biggest news this week, Kenny Omega said that AEW Fyter Fest will be free for streaming for subscribers on BR Live. Chris Jericho has been very vocal about him disagreeing with Kenny, Cody, and the Bucks about giving the event away for free. He even pulled out of the event and said, "I refuse to be part of such a shameless pandering." He's also pulled Fozzie's appearance from the event as well, and saying that due to the stupid promoters, he wasn't sure that they would have what they needed to give the fans a quality performance. Do you guys feel like this is a work, or is this legit?
Now that you explained the whole thing to me, instead of me just thinking that Fozzie pulled off for no reason because I didn't have the whole story, now after hearing you explain it, I think it's totally a work.
Yeah, totally a work.
I was really
hadn't even
confused.
heard that. All I had heard was Fyter Fest was for free.
Yeah.
Well, I heard Sunday somebody was talking about it, and they were saying it was going to be a way lower presentation than what Double or Nothing was. It was going to be
Oh,
Well,
sure,
yeah,
okay.
because I mean, like the event that it is, like it's you can look at the card and go, "Oh, this is a very nice show. We know who's going to win."
right.
I wouldn't do none of those if I was AEW. There's no way that I would do a show that wasn't just as awesome, if not more awesome, than the last one I did every single time right now. You don't have time to take your foot off the gas. If you're messing with a billionaire's money and you've got all this stuff on your back, you don't throw together a house show and tell everybody it's a WrestleMania.
Wow, they
You
just
don't-
did it in WWE.
Well, I don't
with
think-
Saudi Arabia.
I don't think they called it.
And
a
it wasn't a good
WrestleMania.
idea. Either way, it needs to be just as good, if not better, than Double or Nothing.
Well, I think there will be surprises.
I'd skip
Like,
the whole
of course, Jericho. I mean, honestly, I don't think people.
He's not
are
going to be a
going-
StarCast 3 either, he says.
That's really interesting.
Can you
I don't
believe
understand.
anything that? I mean, honestly, you can. That's what
No,
I love
Jericho
about
is
Chris
one.
Jericho.
Yeah, I was going to go there too. He's one of the few guys that keeps the kayfabe alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
You cannot believe a thing he says.
Right.
Right, you really can't.
Kind of like you, Rich.
It's
Quick.
always a surprise, huh?
Kind of like you.
No,
That was for Mike Loving. He told me to throw it at you.
Oh, jabs
well,
from
Mike Loving is a wonderful, beautiful human being. See, I lied. So I guess you can't believe anything I say. Screw you, Mike.
Brian, Andy, you guys have anything else to mention on that regard before we move on?
No, but you know what I will say is I will say that almost every single wrestling story that you talked about during that entire segment all made me think about that episode with Vince Russo where he was talking about factors that make the two of them in bed together.
Jericho coming to town after saying he would never work for anybody but Vince McMahon in the United States of America.
Call me a flat earther on this one, but I think I'm with Russo. I believe there's something funny about this situation.
I'm not quite there yet, but I'm close. I'm not there yet, but I'm close.
I mean, there's so many things that lead to it, and one of the things that I'm glad that this came around again to talk about is that Bruce Pritchard was the main contact and pretty much did the entire deal when ECW was getting funding from the WWE. Something that everyone has lied about, and it's already been proven through Ledger that, yes, the WWE was funding ECW nearly the entire time, trying to build it up to be competition against WCW so they could turn their head and watch them duke it out for second place instead of having to duke it out with WCW for first place. They had their money in ECW the entire time. And now this is the exact same thing, but on a way bigger scale. And he's doing them favors left and right. And then things are happening weird.
Listen. I would listen, Linda. Listen. Linda, listen. All right, look, I would love to debate this with you, but I believe we had talked about this possibly one time being a topic. So I would love to get into this with you, but we will do this at a later date.
We will. We're going to do this in 2 weeks, gentlemen. Next week, I already got the topic planned out.
You guys got to listen to it.
But in 2 weeks, Brian, I know I told you that I was going to give you the ball in 2 weeks, but that is going to be our topic in 2 weeks.
That's our
topic in 2 weeks. We're going to take another quick commercial break, come back with our topic of what was the best tag team move of all time. We'll be right back, guys. Thanks for sticking around.
2 attorneys, 1 location. Gavin Ward and Josh Miller.
Hello, my name's Gavin Ward. I'm an attorney serving Southern West Virginia. If you need help with a real estate transaction or closing, probating an estate, a property dispute, estate planning, or bankruptcy, give us a call. We can help.
Hello, I'm attorney Josh Miller. I serve Southern West Virginia. If you've been injured in a car accident or hurt on the job or charged with a crime, please come see me today. I can help.
For a free consultation, call 681-207-7400.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. I told you guys that our topic this week was going to be, what was the best tag team move of all time? Hey, look, special guest host, Andy Frampton. Boom. Hey, Andy. What's up, man? Appreciate you tuning in for this 5th hour of the show. I feel like this is a WWE pay-per-view. We've been here forever.
It's just the pre-show.
It's just the pre-show, yeah. We got started.
That's right.
The house party is going to come out and face half the primetime players in Apollo Crews. and we're going to listen to John Bradshaw Layfield for a little bit.
Oh, wow. I don't know if I can do that.
No, I can.
Yeah, me too. I love John.
I was his manager at a show one time.
Really?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
I bet it was.
Yeah, we were down in Virginia Beach, and that's a story for another day because that's how I got banned from a Shoney's.
Is that a nationwide thing?
No. I could go to the ones in Atlanta that Scott Steiner owns.
Scott Steiner lets anybody in that place.
Yeah.
Because if you get out of hand, he'll give you some math problems.
All right, well, the way we're going to do this, Andy, this is the way we do it every week on the show. We'll go around the table. Well, there's only 2 of us here, but we'll go around the panel. And
I can get a table if you need me to.
No, Devon. Bubba, I don't need you to get a table. Just hang on.
I was going to say, Rich, quick, get the tables.
Oh, why am I Devon?
Because we're both on Skype, and they don't know that we're not at the same place.
Well, we already
because our walls are similar colors.
I'll get we are. Yeah, okay, I'll get the tables. Go ahead.
Our walls are similar colored. They think you're in Florida.
Yes, because all walls in Florida are that weird eggshell.
Yes, that is true. And as you can see in my house,
some of those walls in Florida are tinted with meth. Okay, I lived down there for a while. I'm well aware of what the sunshine is going on.
And we're so insecure we can't sit on the same couch together.
No,
we have to sit on opposite ends of the room.
I don't know what the hell just happened, but let's bring it back around, boys.
Got it.
Name our number one, and then after everybody names their number one, we'll discuss some others.
Hey, let me ask real quick before we get through this: is it a tag team finishing move,
it's
or
up
just
to you.
A move a tag team would do?
Up to you, brother.
Okay, because see, I'm kind of stuck on this.
Okay, think about it if you need to. You need to think about it.
Yeah, let me think about it. You guys holler back at me.
Brian, Rich, would one of you guys like to start the festivities?
I can go.
Sure,
or he can go. I don't care.
Go ahead, Brian.
I volunteer as tribute. All right. Because I think it's the most obvious one. It's the Doomsday Device.
That's right. That is a classic.
It's a good one.
By the Road Warriors.
Can you remember the feeling that you got when you seen Dwayne Gill go ass over tea kettle off of Animal's shoulders with Hawk just running through him like a freight train? That was, when I was a kid, that is what really set me off whenever like in front of the TV going, oh, I'm a kid.
And that is the key to a great finishing tag team movies. When you see it and you go, oh God, that happened every time with the Doomsday Device.
It really did.
Came off the top, whah! And then they went ass over tea kettle, and poor J.J. Dillon damn near died. That was the key, was why I picked this as the best one.
That was going
because it was scary every time, because you didn't take that flat back bump. No. You took the over under.
Flippity dippity.
You took the flippity dippity.
Every time.
Every time. And that's what it could legitimately hurt you. And the audience knew that. And
I remember being like a little kid at that time, being like, man, these two guys always come to the ring looking like badasses, kicking ass, and then they about kill somebody every single time.
I was on the fence whether I was going to pick this one or one other one, but you're not wrong, Rich. This move, even now to this day,
I know.
I mean, if you would see that happen on the street, you'd be like, damn, and they killed that guy. Some moves,
like in a real life situation,
right?
That would really hurt somebody. And that's the way I go with it.
If we're all going to agree that the Doomsday Device is the best.
I'm not saying it's the best.
Okay.
I got a number one.
I mean,
beat that one.
Oh, really?
If
all right. Well, way to be.
That puts us watching.
It was my number one until I just gave it to Rich.
Okay, I'm going to interject and steal number one before you steal mine.
I knew it was going to be.
Okay.
My number one is the 3D.
Yeah, that's not on my list.
You can be wrong if you want to. That's okay.
No. I mean, I don't disagree with you. That's a great move.
It is,
but it wasn't on my list.
That would have been my number 2, but I do have another one.
Oh, hang on, save it.
No, I'm gonna save it. I ain't gonna save it. I'm just gonna say that I feel the 3D should be on the list somewhere.
Testify, brother. Testify.
Why do I keep being Devon? God damn it.
Frampton.
I too.
You're up.
I too agree that the Doomsday Device is the best. However, the 3D is my number 2.
So now you got to pick a number 3.
Well,
damn.
Here's the whole reason I have. It's a 2-part reason I have such love for the 3D. One, I was probably 16 when they broke Beulah's neck with it, and that was still when we were ECW tape trading.
Oh yeah, those were the days.
I was like the peak audience they were looking for right then, because I was like, burn it all! Let's just do it.
Yeah, me too.
And
me too.
So that was awesome. But the 3D also gave birth years down the line, a variation of it. I asked earlier about obscure tag teams. In the dying breath of ECW, Simon Diamond and Johnny Swinger were Simon and Swinger, and they had a 3D-esque move called the Problem Solver, and Swinger would pick them up like Bubba would, and instead of just grabbing their neck and dropping, Diamond would hit the ropes and jump up and hit him with a DDT from that height.
Nice.
And it was so crisp. It was like, remember how Chris Benoit's German suplexes were the best Germans you'd ever seen?
Yes, I do remember that.
That's how crisp that move was when Simon Diamond and Johnny Swinger did it. And I was like, oh.
I just thought of a tag team move that I want to see. I want to see that pancake move that the Dudleys do with Chris Jericho coming down with the code breaker.
I've seen a tag team.
I've seen
that done, at least something similar to it.
I like it. I want to see it.
Because in the prep for this, full disclosure, I YouTubed 100 best tag team finishing moves. Okay. And Jericho has been a member of many tag teams.
Oh, yeah.
And the finisher usually ends with and I think maybe with the rated R, or whenever he was with Edge, maybe.
Team Ego.
Yeah. There have been many times where he picked up this. Yeah. But honestly, the Revival's finisher is sort of like that.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Like they pick him up and then what's it
I don't know
called?
what the hell a finisher is in WWE anymore. You never know what the finish is anymore. Usually it's a roll up or a
as long as
disqualification.
Somebody in the chest with one finger, I'm all right with it.
There's old drinky over there.
Yeah, I have seen. I saw one on an indie show one time. We were in Evansville, Indiana, and I can't remember what the team's name was, but little dude, big dude picked him up, kind of like Bob Holly used to do. And as he swung him around, the little guy ran and hit him with a lung blower like Carlito used to do.
Very cool.
And it was like I was sitting two rows back, and I literally, when I saw him hit it. And I was like,
nice.
That's a good one. I'm never going to see that in Vince's ring, but that's a good one.
I just thought of one that none of you are going to pick, so I don't care. The Ugly Ducklings. Their tag team finishing move is phenomenal. You put the guy in the corner. Rob Killjoy down on the ground. Lance Lude comes up, runs from the corner, slings feet up, feet splash into the corner. If you've never seen it, please look up the Ugly Ducklings. That is a great tag team finisher.
Great tag team period. Very entertaining.
Yes, absolutely.
Very
okay, so we got 3D, Doomsday Device. What did you say, Brian? You said Doomsday Device, right?
I said Doomsday Device would be one of my top ones, but I have other ones to switch to since I was going to give that one to Rich. I can't I really liked the Scott Steiner Bulldog almost as like the anti or not the Scott Steiner Bulldog, the Rick Steiner Bulldog off of Scotty's shoulders, because that was like the anti-hero version of the Doomsday Device. I mean, it kind of had the same feel, not the ass over tea kettle part, but like the bullfrog or the bulldog from that high up. Pretty awesome, but I was that close to picking it, and I didn't pick it, even though I just told you about it. My actual pick is Arn Anderson and Bobby Eaton, when Arn Anderson would get him by the legs and hold him out for Bobby Eaton to come off the top of the Alabama Jam. The elevated Alabama Jam was my favorite tag team maneuver from the Dangerous Alliance in '92 WCW, John.
Go figure.
I
figured.
Hold on. Are you talking about the Vegematic?
Is that the Vegematic?
Is the Vegematic when they hold him out and
hold him out on the knees, and you come off the second rope or the top rope, and you're like you're slayed out, and a leg drop over top of the knees. Our
Tennessee caller definitely called out the Vegematic.
I know. That's why I was going to go back to it.
Okay, he didn't go. No, he didn't go straight to his back and hold the opponent over his knees, but he held him out, like almost like he was about to turn him over for a Boston Crab, but instead he elevated his neck and never turned over. So he's just hanging there. And Bobby Eaton came off with the Alabama Jam. It was very calculated, almost like Arn was coming down in a slow spine buster and just stopped before he hit the ground. Stopped that far, maybe like a foot or so.
Oh, okay.
And he'd come off with the Alabama Jam. It was awesome. It was
I gotta
really
look
awesome.
this
I
up.
want to
You
give
just
a shout
confused the hell out of me.
to the Vegematic, because it's kind of the same thing as like, you kind of hold him up, and then Bobby Eaton comes off, and it's
right.
Like
Vegematic. That sounds like something you'd see on an infomercial late at night.
It's because that was.
If somebody came out with a Vegematic that actually chopped vegetables and did an infomercial in the middle of the night with Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, it would sell like hotcakes. Everybody would buy that.
I want to throw some more out here I found in my travels. I didn't look up 100 like Rich Quick, but I looked up some. How about the Powerplex? Paul Roma and Hercules. You guys remember that?
I do. I don't think that was great.
Okay. What about Skull
How
and
about
Bones?
the Us?
What?
Oh.
What?
How about we just throw our own out? How about the Usos, like the double?
Or how about you let your host do what he does, and then we'll throw some out? How about that?
The host
You
said
got
that
to?
We could do that
two
too.
checks?
I mean, whatever.
I don't get no checks. I'm still waiting.
None of us are getting paid.
The Usos, you're right there. That is a good one. Skull and Bones, Motor City Machine Guns.
Oh yeah,
That was good
that's good
stuff.
stuff.
You mentioned Arn Anderson. How about the Spike Pile Driver with Tully Blanchard? That was good stuff.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was good stuff. A lot of people did that actually.
Decapitation, Demolition, Axe and Smash.
No.
Heart Attack,
Because it's
Heart Foundation.
okay.
Yeah, that was great.
No.
For
I
me,
never
it was
liked-
great.
I never liked the Heart Attack.
Okay, what about the Meltzer Driver?
Love it.
Love it. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I love seeing it sort of like the Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah.
It's one of those moves. You're just
Hey,
like, yeah.
you're on with the Royal Ramble, or are you wanting to ramble, or you want to Uber? What's up?
I'm on the Ramble right now, brother. I don't need the Uber till tomorrow morning.
That's cool, brother. What's going on?
All right, Jonathan Darwin here. Okay, I got to throw out my favorite because I just looked it up again just to remember it. Heart Foundation Heart Attack.
Yeah, I just mentioned that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those classic ones. You just knew at the end that it was over, like you guys talk about today. No finishers. It's so hard to tell. It'd be great to see that a tag team move where once that's hit, that's the end of the match.
I'm with you 120%. Some of my fellow hosts on the show don't agree with me, but I'm with you. It was a good one.
Thank you, man. Thank you, brother.
All right, darling.
Ramble
Ramble
on.
on, brother. Let me throw a few more out, Rich, and then I'll let you hit the floor, brother. Steiner's DDT.
Really? All right.
Steiner DDT. You guys remember that?
No. That was good. Yeah. I'll dig that.
Total Elimination. The Eliminators. John Cronus, Perry Saturn. That was pretty good stuff.
Yes, I was
definitely
actually
good.
going to say that one as one of my picks. That was a great move too. I didn't know you were going to actually say that. I was about to throw that out there and be like, "So are you going to talk about Total Elimination?" But yeah, you totally went there. Good. I'm glad.
But that's just a few of many. Rich, would you like to throw out some?
No.
Okay.
The whole okay, good. Yeah, no, I'm good.
What about? Okay, I know this isn't necessarily a tag team move that they did together, but they both did it, and they did it every match. What about some good old fashioned Nastyville? Taking them down to Nastyville.
Oh, you got
That
it.
was a good tag team
yeah.
move.
Yeah, well, I mean, it could be considered one since they both did it every tag match.
Same way as the Bushwhackers.
It's true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, or the battering ram. Remember the battering ram?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Luke would grab Butch and run him around and hit people in the stomach with his head. It was great.
Yeah, there's like a lot of gimmick moves, and they don't have to be finishers. They just have to be.
Sure.
I believe
yeah.
the Moondogs.
That's one of the things I was going to ask because it wasn't a finisher, but of course all four of us are familiar with Cesaro doing the swing. When him and Chris Hero were in Ring of Honor as Kings of Wrestling, and he would do the swing like that, Hero would like tag himself in and run in and drop kick the guy as Claudio.
I never
would.
seen that.
You've never seen
That
No.
Tyson Kidd did the same thing when he tagged with Cesaro.
Yeah.
It was pretty much a rip off of that move because it was the same exact move.
Rez,
and honestly,
you
I think
might know
Tyson did
this
it better.
then. Like when Claudio Cesaro, whatever you want to call him, when he was like poking his head in NXT at the beginning, like when him and Sammy were going off with each other and stuff for a little bit, did he ever do the UFO where he put his hands on his hips and spun the guy with no hands?
I don't think he ever did that
Okay,
at any
he did it in
time.
Ring of
I
Honor,
do
and
not
it's
recall that.
amazing.
Yo, I remember him doing it in the Ring of Honor, but I don't think he ever did that in the WWE.
Hey, what's
didn't-
up?
I
You're
didn't
on
know
with
if
the
he did it in
Royal
NXT.
Ramble. Who we got?
What is up, John Covey Cole with Sean B, man? What's going on?
I'm sitting here rambling a little bit. What's on your mind, brother?
I called to give him my top favorite tag team move of all time, bro.
Yeah, man, throw it out. What's your favorite, or what do you think the best tag team move of all time is?
Well, for me personally, I got to pick the Steiner Brother Bulldog that Brian was talking about. I just think that
Yeah.
I thought that was cool as a kid, and I still think it's cool. And I also remember one time in a couple of matches watching Ricky put people up on his shoulder and Scotty doing a Frankensteiner off of Rick's shoulder, and I thought that was pretty cool too.
The Steiners had so many. Remember the Steiner line? You know, they had that one. Steiner
Yeah, that
line!
was. They both did the Steiner line, and then he also had the not the Frankensteiner, but the Steiner pile driver, the Steiner driver, and then
Yeah.
that was everything
awesome.
had.
Also,
Everything
another
they
one that
did had the word
hadn't
Steiner
been
on
mentioned
it.
by anybody was the rocket launcher by the Midnight Express.
That's a good
That's
one.
true as
Rocket
well.
launcher,
That's true as well.
Does anybody remember?
Appreciate you.
Just wanted to call real quick. Can't stay on the line long. I'm out saving and slaving on the ambulance today. But appreciate y'all and what y'all do every week. You guys, take
Thanks,
care.
buddy. Ramble on, man.
All right, ramble on.
I don't know 100% what he said. It said something about being on Ambien. I don't know what's going on.
Was it Ambien or ambulance?
I don't know.
Ambulance.
I'm too far away
So
from the
does
speaker,
anybody
I couldn't
remember the Rock and Roll Express, where the height, the epitome, as it were, of tag team wrestling moves was the double drop kick?
Yeah.
I was actually getting ready to say that exact same thing. I was going to say,
Thanks.
who do you guys think?
Smart.
Who do you guys think did the best double drop kick out of everybody who did it? Because everybody did that move. Was it the Rockers?
Rockers,
Was it,
probably.
That was the
Probably the
that was the
Monkeys.
finish.
Monkeys.
what about?
yes.
I've always thought Z-Man and Pillman had a hell of a double drop kick. I don't know if you guys remember that tag team, but
I
Z-Man
remember.
and Brian Pillman, every time they did the double drop kick, they both looked like they were doing the exact same thing in sequence and hitting the very tip top of the head. And I thought that was cool. That was a very different way to do it, in my opinion, since everybody usually goes for like maybe the chin right around the chest area. But no, they went straight to the top of the head. And that
Straight
was
to
good
the
stuff.
face.
So that's your pick, obviously. Because I would say the Rock and Roll, because they won multiple championships from it.
Rock and Roll Express or the Rockers?
Rock and Roll.
I'll tell you what.
Rock and Roll Express.
New
I
Rockers.
remember watching Rock and Roll do that move live, and I was so jacked. I was like 17 years old. One of the first live wrestling events I got to go to, and they did the double drop kick, and they were older at this point, but still, it was amazing. I was like, it's the move. I've seen this before. This is great.
Yeah.
How awesome is it that 30 years ago, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson can do a double drop kick and win title after title, and then they evolve into the fact that Ricky Morton can now can just go to a Canadian destroyer and still get over. But yet, if they still did a double drop kick, that's a finish, baby.
I think everyone has figured out that the Canadian destroyer is actually all on the guy who's receiving it.
Brian.
Yeah.
Brian.
Well, yeah.
Keep the kayfabe alive, man.
Just
Enjoy
saying.
it.
I mean,
Enjoy it, brother. Old man doing moves, remember?
I really enjoyed him doing the move. I really enjoyed the spot, but I'm also saying that Richie, he can't really. That's not really saying much.
There has been so many times throughout my fandom, and this is up there, that I've had that moment where I just wish. I feel like I'm on the Firefly Funhouse. If you just wish big enough, it could come true.
If you're expressing yourself, no one can truly hurt you. Keep going, John.
I wish that I was not smartened up to the business. I wish that fanboy that grew up watching wrestling was still there. He's still there, but I just wish that the knowledgeable guy, or the supposed knowledgeable guy, I see that look you give me, Rich. That was for Derek, wasn't it? But I wish that fanboy was in me all the time, which it's still there. But I'll watch something, and the first thing I'll do is be like, "Well, yeah, there's this, or that's a work," and it's unfortunate because the magic of wrestling was more prevalent back when I was a teenager. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Really? You were a teenager. All right.
I didn't watch it when I was toddler-ish. Whatever you want to call a preteen or whatever.
Really? No, okay. No, look.
Agree.
I got a promo.
I
got a promo, and I will not. Are your children watching this right now? John, have you called?
They're not. They're not watching at the moment. That one just tried to call, so maybe they are, maybe they're not.
All right. Here's what I have to say. All right. You believe in Santa Claus. When you're 6 years old, you believe in Santa Claus. The Easter Bunny will bring you eggs, and the Tooth Fairy will bring you money. Keep that in your heart and your head forever, and then when you get older, okay, you learn things differently, all right? I'm not going to say things that are going to disparage or ruin the little children's lives, okay? But the fact is that you get older, you get smarter, and then you understand and you get smarter. If you want to be an idiot all your life, that's on you. But you can either learn how shit works or you can be dumb.
You just went full promo on John Cody
Isn't
Cole
that
out
where
of
wrestling is based out of?
I know I did, right? It was
But
good.
it's the
It was
idea
good.
of
Thank you.
Being able to suspend the disbelief lets you enjoy it more.
Exactly.
And that there is, it is undeniable now that we know so much about pro wrestling, how it works on the inside. It is less enjoyable from a fan standpoint. Because if somebody wins, you automatically go, oh, well, they'll ruin him in the long run. Or they'll do this. They did.
Or he won because of
He
this.
won because of this. Yeah, blah, blah. Well, they're blowing this storyline off or whatever. It was more enjoyable when we as a fan base thought it was at least slightly legitimate still. I'm not old enough to have, watched it in the early 80s and been able to grasp what was going on. But the reaction of those crowds from the late 70s and all the way up to about 88 or 89, especially in, when the territories were strong, when it was still a legitimate athletic competition, the idea of that is better. It does play, from your promo that you cut just a second ago, it kind of takes that ignorance is bliss mantra to it, but it is more enjoyable when you can suspend disbelief in this day and age. So in my opinion, it would be exponentially more enjoyable if I didn't have to suspend disbelief, if the powers that be had found a way to keep it from me to know that it wasn't real.
And more importantly, Rich Quick, I want to thank you for not ruining it for my little guys. Very honorable, sir. But
had you not called me out on that just now, we might have just glossing through that. But I appreciate that. I appreciate your comment.
The whole time you were cutting that promo on me, though, Brian Resner was over cheesing from ear to ear, loving life.
Now he looks like he's asleep on the couch.
He's been drinking that mug full of liquor the whole time. I'd be sleeping on the couch too.
It's water, and I'm not on the couch. I'm in the chair.
Oh. Guys, it's been a blast. We've been here almost 2 hours. I think this is the longest we've made it before I've tapped out, if you will. It's been a pleasure, Andy, having you down here on the show. Rich Quick, Brian Resner, it's been great, as always. A lot of insightful ramblings were had tonight. And I look forward to hopefully doing it again next week. And hopefully Derek will come back around. One of you guys need to talk to him or something and let him know that it's safe to come back to the show.
I think you need to talk to him. Take responsibility for your own actions.
I ain't done nothing. I tried to tell him I didn't do nothing to him, and he won't listen to me.
Andy's a security guard in Charleston. He's a bouncer, and he throws people out of places. Maybe if you hired Andy to protect Derek, maybe he'd come back.
That can be arranged.
I can't even hire myself. How am I?
I think we'd hire Andy to keep him out.
I can do that too.
Did he already hire you to take him out a few weeks ago?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh my God. We just stumbled upon a.
Was this in the Russo podcast too?
So who made the payroll?
Russo talked about this, and he said Andy Frampton was a freaking liar. He took out Derek Jones to help John win that championship.
Whoever is on the show,
I don't know, bro,
or keep that championship.
Bruh.
Whoever is on the show next week,
I'm telling you, bro.
Whoever's on the show next week, our topic next week is going to be What was the best? That's not right. That's this week.
Bro.
Next week. Sorry, party foul. What was the best Survivor Series team of all time?
Oh, we all know.
You think you
damn
know?
it, you're gonna make me do
think
research?
you know until you start diving in and looking at some of the teams.
Oh no, I know exactly who the best Survivor Series team was.
Okay.
Bro, why?
Lucky you're not gonna be here.
It's the Blue Meanie.
Unless you've been hired. Unless you've been hired to keep Derek away.
Turns out you worked for John and have for weeks. We know the scoop, Andy. You can stop playing stupid.
Brian,
you're a couple of Jon Snows. You know nothing.
Listen, Rich Quick wanted to cut a promo on me earlier. I'm going to cut one on you guys real quick. Seriously.
Glasses off.
No, seriously, listen. There's people out there that actually think that I took Derek out for the Ramble in the Bank. I had nothing to do with it, guys. I don't know why you acting like I did. I didn't. I ain't scared of Derek Jones. I'll defend this title against him anytime he wants. But you guys aren't helping the fact saying I allegedly took out Derek Jones. There's people out there that think I actually had something to do with it. And frankly, it's getting old, guys.
You sound like Jerry Lawler when he gets questioned by reporters.
Well, I don't care who I
That's
sound
what
like.
you sound
Take that how you will. No,
Yeah.
but I know what you mean. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. That was allegedly. I
Anyway,
just bought him my ice cream cone.
thank you again, Andy, for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Great.
Brian Resner, Rich Quick, I am John Covey Cole. Until next week, Ramblers, ramble on.
Ramble on.